Welcome back. I'm Randy Buehler here with Brian Kibler. We're getting ready for Game 2 of the Pro Tour Amsterdam Championship match. Nicolai Herzog took Game 1. He sort of fell behind early. OsamuFujita got out a Crystal Shard. It was using it quite effectively, but Icy Manipulator was the game. Icy Manipulator just kept OsamuFujita's best creature tapped, kept his Crystal Shard from doing any real damage, and then Tel'Jilad Chosen actually did all 20 damage. Protection from Artifact 2-1, just nothing that Fujita could do about it. He did have one color. He had Nim Shrieker was one colored creature that he had. That one got killed by Pyrite Spellbomb. His second colored creature was a Nurok Familiar, which he attempted to block and trade for the Chosen, but Herzog had Predator Strike ready to kill it. We were actually talking about this during the break. It's possible that Fujita made a mistake by trying to trade the Familiar for the Tel'Jilad Chosen. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, Nicolai attacked, in the one-turn window where the Crystal Shard. Well, it was. I believe Fujita was just tapped out. I don't think that's.
Well, he did not have access.
He didn't have access to the Crystal Shard. It's pretty much how it worked.
So Herzog attacked the Chosen.
Herzog attacked with the Chosen.
Now the question is, would Herzog attack without Predator Strike backup?
It seems like that. Herzog, knowing how powerful the Chosen is in the matchup, I mean, we saw that it did every point of damage in the entire game.
So I think Fujita was right to want to trade his Nurok Familiar for the Tel'Jilad Chosen, but he didn't get to, right? Predator Strike.
Yeah, I mean, he has access to the deck list, and I mean, he knows that Nicolai's deck has not only Predator Strike but also Battle Growth. I mean, Battle Growth would have been awful for him. It would have made the Chosen even bigger. So I mean, it seems like trying for that sort of trade when you potentially have Crystal Shard, not only Crystal Shard available to save your Nurok Familiar.
The idea is what Fujita could have done is take the damage that turn, and then on a future turn when he has Crystal Shard untapped, then go for the block. That way, if Nico does have the Predator Strike, well, he can just pick up the Familiar and save it.
And then if Nicolai tries to use his Pyrite Spellbomb to kill the Familiar when he uses the Crystal Shard, then his Shrieker stays alive.
Right, the Shrieker was already dead by that point.
Oh, was it?
You're right.
Yeah.
But the thing, so Nico does have the Icy Manipulator to shut down the Crystal Shard, but if Nico starts using his Icy on the Crystal Shard, well, all of a sudden Lodestone Mirror becomes relevant, and Lodestone Mirror was ginormous.
Mm-hmm. If
Lodestone Mirror starts coming over because Nico's using his Icy on the Crystal Shard, I think Fujita wins in that little exchange. So if he'd waited, if he hadn't risked the block there, if he'd waited until he had Crystal Shard, things might have worked out better. But
you're still playing minimum 40 card deck both?
I am at least.
So both players got to go to their sideboards for this game. They built their decks. Most people build their decks with their quarterfinal opponent in mind. So, for example, Fujita had a Rustbore Ram in his main deck that he actually drafted really high because Camille Cornelissen had Imperial Plate. Well, the Rustbore Ram did its job. It killed an Imperial Plate in the quarterfinals. It got Fujita here, but there's not a single piece of equipment in Herzog's deck. Rustbore Ram into the sideboard. In its place now is a Moriarty Scavenger, the Gravedigger guy. And I think he made another change as well.
I believe he brought in Regress.
He brought in Regress and he took Relic Bane out of his deck.
Yeah, Relic Bane doesn't really do much against Nico's deck.
Nico has a couple artifacts, but he's got the Molder Slug, so he didn't get very many artifacts.
I'd mentioned actually before the match even started that I thought that one of the important cards that Nicolai has in the sideboard is the innocuous-looking Crackland Shaman.
The Shaman?
That guy is just devastating against affinity decks. And
you have the second artifact, right?
Yeah, you have the second artifact to Earthquake for one.
But how many artifacts?
He has 9, I believe.
Really?
Yes. I mean, just using it for 1, kills all of the mirrors on the opposing side. Right. Using it for 2 clears mirrors and frogmites. I mean, you can't kill the Somber Hoverguard because it's an Earthquake effect. But I mean, you can do a lot of damage to your opponent's side of the board.
Did he bring it in? I
don't know. We're gonna have our spotter on the floor check it out. I mean, Fujita's deck has a pair of Frogmites. He has 3 mirrors. He has Mirror Retriever. I mean, he's a lot of creatures that are vulnerable to the Shaman. It's not clear necessarily though what Herzog could really take out of his deck. I mean, the Trolls of Tel'Jilad, they seem like they're pretty slow in the matchup.
So Herzog did go to a sideboard. He took out his Hematite Golem, but he did not put in the Shaman.
Interesting. He may have.
Shaman's still on the board.
He actually has a needle bug in his sideboard that seems like it can be very powerful in the matchup. I imagine that's probably what he brought in. No, he apparently didn't bring that in either.
Wow. I heard him talking between games about how the needle bug might be amazing. We just watched him do 20 with a protection from artifacts.
His Ogre Leadfoot could also be very good.
Why? Needle bug's got to be good.
Needle bug's got to be good. Yeah, he brought the Leadfoot in. Seems like the Needlebug and the Leadfoot probably both should come in. It seems like he doesn't need his Trolls of Telgelad. They seem like they're just not really that powerful in this matchup. Yeah, I mean this is a matchup that comes down to much faster board positions than Trolls can really impact.
Well, game 2 has started. Fujita leads with a turn 1 Hover Sail, and there's turn 2.
That's another card he brought in from the sideboard.
Hover Sail.
Yep. And that makes a lot of sense here.
Sure.
I mean, his deck's pretty vulnerable with flyers like the Neurotic Familiar.
For Herzog. Might have a bolt. No, he should have bolted the mirror if he had a bolt. We talked about the fact Fujita's deck can explode. That's Herzog's fear. Well, that's a good affinity start. Turn 1 artifact, turn 2 artifact. No artifact lands.
Frogmite? No, Wizard Replica. No, that's something you probably want to bolt if you have it. The Wizard Replica can really...
Oh, if he had the bolt, he should have nailed the mirror.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily true that you want to kill the mirror. It depends on your hand. I mean, as we were talking before, Bolt kills every creature in Fujita's deck. I mean, if he has a reasonably mana heavy draw, I mean, it's killing the mirror is sort of just like stone raiding an excess land. And I mean, those bolts can be very valuable.
Like
killing the rest of
2 excess land.
Well, I mean, yes, but I mean, those if he's using those to cast Frogmites on you.
Well, apparently Nicolai agrees with you. He did have the electrostatic bolt. He does point it at the Wizard Replica, so chose not to kill the mirror, does choose to kill the replica.
Joiner? No, Goblin Replica.
Goblin Replica. That's 3 out of 5. Nico Herzog leads 1-0. The winner of this match gets $30,000 US. The loser will have to settle for $20,000. Very sad for the loser.
Truly unfortunate.
Only $20,000.
I feel their pain.
Hoverguard. Somber Hoverguard.
No, that's an artifact land in Hoverguard. Regular land?
Regular land.
Oh, there's a mirror involved. I was miscounting.
Very similar to an artifact.
It is.
Goblin Replica heads into the red zone. Fujita takes the damage.
18.
First blood. Land Slug. Another Goblin Replica.
Or Goblin Replica. The first non-Telgelad chosen damage of the match.
That's funny.
Does that suit up the mirror?
Coming in.
Funny.
Take 4.
The
16,
mirror and the
18.
Somber Guard head over for 4. Herzog falls to 16. Not a great sign for Fujita. This doesn't have anything better.
Yeah,
to do,
I mean, when your 5th turn is or 4th turn or whatever it is
it does make for a 5-turn clock though.
I mean, he's at even race here now.
Icy Manipulator.
Ice, it's so good. Ugh. Icy is unreal.
I mean, that card's always been good. It seems like in this format somehow. I guess it's equipment that makes it just
Equipment is one thing that makes it just so incredible. I mean, people are investing multiple permanents and a lot of mana into a single creature.
Take it. 1. 15, 14.
And then if you have Icy and Blinding Beam, it's really, really not fair at all.
Well, there's a Frogmite.
My kingdom for an Icy and a Blinding Beam.
The Herzog's board is Icy, Goblin Replica, facing off against Fujita, who has Somber Hoverguard, and Hover Sail Mirror, and a Frogmite.
This is one of those situations where Herzog has to sit back and think, well, does he have the scale? Because otherwise, I mean, he can just send in, you know,
Send the
threaten. He can threaten a 2-for-1 here.
All right.
I mean, if there's a
attacks.
scale,
2 goblin
he only
replicas
gets the
head into
1-for-1
red
and
zone.
uses all his mana.
Scale of Chiskaraya would be quite good here.
Is it Chiskaraya or Goria?
I think it's Garaya.
I don't know. I've always been pronouncing it Goria.
Is it Goria?
I don't know. I didn't make the card.
I don't choose the names.
You don't even tend to know the name.
It's true. They have weird names when I see the card. I don't remember what those were called. I don't think we had anything particularly called. All right, Fujita does indeed choose to block. Shoves Frogmite in front of Goblin Replica. Battle Growth.
Ooh.
Well, Scale can't do much of anything now. Goblin Replica goes to 3/3 and stays in play.
Need a counter for that. There it is.
So that's 2 damage, right? 15, 12.
Damage, dropping Fujita to 12.
Battle Growth was spicy there. That was sick.
Icy taps the Hover Guard.
Mir comes in for
Mir.
1.
Getting his beat
14,
on.
12.
I mean, that's no ordinary Mir. That Mir is piloting a hover sail.
Down comes another Frogmite. Herzog doesn't even seem to have a particularly good draw this game other than the ice.
No, I mean,
It's just like the Goblin Replicas are not the superstars. That's the bottom of the deck.
I mean, he's got a bunch of Grey Ogres. Not even a bunch, he has 2. One of them is now a trained Armadon.
He had the
though.
Bolt too. It's a decent draw from Herzog. His deck just seems to match up really well against Fujita.
Deconstruct?
There's Deconstruct.
Ugh.
Wipes Frogmite out of the way. Yep, nothing Fujita can do about it. Herzog
Molder
spends his
Slug.
Mana on?
Yeah.
On Molder Slug. Wow. Is that even good
5
for him
damage,
here? He's got to
14.
start losing his replicas, right?
It's a Molder Slug.
I get
Have
it.
you read Molder Slug? Oh, there it goes.
It's been
dead.
terrored.
Apparently Fujita has, and he wants it dead. Now Crystal Shard could do some damage.
Yeah, Crystal Shard, maybe.
It really just bounces the Goblin Replica.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't
gets
do that
killed,
much.
but
I mean, Fujita has no clock. He's just got 1 in the air.
13, 7.
Go.
yeah.
Goblin Replica serve again.
13, 2.
2 to 13. Fujita down to 2. Needs a
This
miracle. I'm
is
not even sure what it is.
Going well for him.
Nico Herzog about to take a 2-0 lead. 1 game away from becoming a Pro Tour champion. Yeah.
And there it is.
Fujita scoops it. Nicolai Herzog 2-0. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in 2 minutes with Game 3 of the Pro Tour Amsterdam Championship match.